Okay, this is what happened last night. It was nothing short of a miracle. I showed up, I had my tie-dye shirt on, but it was when I was like a size 14. But to me, I'm still a fat girl, so I wear this crazy tie-dye shirt. Put a little bit of cover-up on. I was so nervous. I get to the college, which is like my alma mater, and the parking lot's full. I'm like, God, okay, I can do this. And I wore my boots because I was thinking, I need something safe to be stepping on. So I prepared my little thing. I had like a little index card. And it just said who I am. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a child of God. I'm a activist. I'm a vegan. All that stuff. And then this is who I used to be. So I started like that. Everybody was cool. My teacher introduced me. He asked me how I was going to do it. I said, I'm being vulnerable. That's what my trauma specialist said to do, so that's what I'm going to do. So I start on the first step. Oh, I know. And I noticed to the left of me that this woman is flipping shit. She's bawling, like tears streaming down her face. She's not like wiping them off. She's going into like a meltdown. I can't cry yet. Like, I've got to just get through this. I get to my son. The front row starts to melt down. I'm like, okay. I've made this plan with God that if one woman or man or child or anyone needed help, that my life would have meaning, And I'm lucky because that's the whole purpose for me living. So I get through the third. I do the fourth death, and subsequently, there's this girl sitting way in the back, and I'm thinking, okay, she's a hard ass, a Billy badass, where I've been there. And then an old friend of mine was sitting in the center. He was still at school, still trying to graduate. And so I surprised my teacher and told him about the top 15%, and, I kind of mellow the whole thing out, because it's a lot of death. And, I realized that, I've been incredibly vulnerable. But as I'm watching this thing go down, everybody's starting to lose it. And I'm like, okay. They're crying. That's cool. And I wasn't being, like, overly vulnerable. I wasn't telling them, like, tip-top secrets. I was just being vulnerable. This is who I am. This is what went down. And not, what's going down in Chinatown. Okay, cool. Done with the speech. I'm starting to notice people need to talk to me. And usually my professor, when a speaker comes in, he'll say, if anybody wants to talk to Cindy, feel free to go out, whatever. You can freely roam in the hallways, whatever you need to do. And he had told me that his speakers weren't being human. And I knew it was really important for me to be. They needed me. If they needed me, I would be there. So the woman to my left comes right up to me. And the class is still there. I mean, my teacher's still there. And she flipped shit. Tears are streaming down her face. And it was really interesting what she said to me. She goes, I'm a psych nurse. My name is April. And I went, okay, God, this is my one lady. That's my one person. And she's like, oh, my husband got him out. And I'm not letting him go. Okay. My professor said they weren't doing the assignment. And I knew that there was a reason for that. And as you can see by my appearance, I didn't end my speech at 6 o'clock. I was there subsequently for 3 more hours. I start to watch the hallway because I have to pee. So I pull her together, I give her my number, and on my iPhone it says last name, first name, company. And I said, okay, what are we going to name our company? And she said, we're going to name it I'm Not Letting Go. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm here. And we're going to sit down and have a tea somewhere, and I know you're in pain, and I know you're not letting him go, and I hear you, and I died so you could live, you know? And we just, let's be friends. Because I knew she wasn't going to, like, go into that area. She's a psych nurse. And she's just fucking shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. I mellow her out. I give her a hug. I whisper in her ear. She tells me, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, okay, I got you. Make a safety contract with me. Which she knew what that meant. Like, tell me that tonight you're going to be safe. You're not going to do anything crazy. And we can do this. I'm not going to leave you. You call me in the middle of the night. If you need me, I'm getting in my car and I'm coming to your house. And I don't care what your house looks like, what you look like. I don't care if you haven't taken a shower in 2 days. I am here, and I am not going to leave you. And I know you're lonely. I've been there. She starts to pull herself together. So I'm like, okay, there's my 1%. I'm going to the bathroom. So 5 steps, another person grabs me by my right arm. I'm like, oh shit. And she has this shirt that says The Walking Dead. And I'm thinking, okay, she's dead inside. She starts showing me her life graph, which is one of the assignments. And it's just like crazy. And I said, she's starting to talk. I can tell she's really rejected. And I said, come here. Come here. And we kind of go to the wall, we lean in so nobody can see us, and I grab her. And her whole body is just vibrating, but she's going to lose it. And she whispers in my ear, I'm going to do something crazy. I said, no, you're not. No. I lost 4 people in 4 months. I said, oh, so I said, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is the plan. I got you. I told me. So I'm holding her, she's whispering in my ear, and I'm telling her. I go, one by one, we're going to give each one of these people what they need, and we're going to keep you together. And if you flip shit on me, remember, I've done it too. I'm going to be your heart with ears. My left shoulder is wet. My right shoulder now is wet. I get her to safety me. I make her promise that she's going to make a safety contract with me. She will not do anything crazy that night. And if she needs me that night, I will come. You're not rejected. You're not alone. I got you. For some reason, that was pulling everybody together, so that's what I kept saying. So I give her my iPhone. I'm like, okay, what's your first name? She's like, Marcy. I'm like, okay, Marcy. Promise me. Okay. Fit. I mean, people are flipping shit. So, okay. I go, what's our secret society? She's like, The Walking Dead. I go, oh my god, okay, I got this. Got you. We're the Walking Dead Society. I get it. You know, it's her little buddy. You know, like, I'm not gonna, like, you're not alone anymore. And she's like, yeah. Let's do the Walking Dead Society. I said, okay, so when I see your number, and I see Marcy, and it says Walking Dead Society, I know exactly what's going on. So we're going to do each person uniquely, give them what they need, we're going to honor them, we're going to take it slow. We're going to do this, but they're not going to kill you. These dead people are not going to kill you. Whew, she calms down. I go to grab the door, another girl comes. I'm like, what the hell's going on, you know? And at this point, I've balled through twice. So, you know, I'm there with them. I've got this, you know, because I know their pain. I know the stage they're in. I know what they're going through. Third girl grabs me. We hit the door. Now, class is still going on. And Dr. Marion texts them, you know, if you need to talk to Sage. So I peek my head back in the door and I said, Dr. Marion, I'm sorry, excuse me, but if anybody needs to talk to me, I'm going to be at the couches. There's couches outside. in the building, but down the way, because I knew there were some people in denial, and they were going to want to. I mean, I could see them all lining up, so I knew. I scoot around the corner, sit on the couch, and she flipped shit. She's in a different phase. I said, I got you. I'm your friend. I know exactly what you're going through. What's your name? She tells me her name. At this point, I'm forgetting names because there's so many people. Put her name in. I go, okay, what are we going to call her company? She's like, Sage? I'm like, okay, that's the stage you're in. I get it. I can't do you. And it's too much. Like, I'm hiding this person inside me. I can't let go. I'm like, okay, I got you. You're going to call me. You need to make a safety contract tonight with me. You are going to do nothing tonight about this. We're going to talk this through right now, but we can't change it tonight. But I can listen, but I know where you're at. We put on a mask because we don't want anybody to think we're flipping shit, and I'm going to help you get through this, and we're not going to hold them in your heart anymore. We're going to do something, same speech, just a different situation. I go to the bathroom. I mean, I have to pee at this point. I'm like going to pee my pants. My pants are too baggy. My shirt looks like a dress. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, oh my God. Now at this point, I've cried so much. Like, my throat is getting dry. My tea is gone. I've already drank that. And I'm thinking, okay, we're done. I come out. And when I'm in the bathroom, another girl comes. She subsequently falls apart. I say the same speech, except different situation. We're going to do this. You're going to make a safety contract with me because I know they're all suicidal. Like, they're going to do something crazy. They're going to either drink, cut their wrist, take some pills. They're going to do something crazy. So I have to get them off the ledge, tell them I'm their private friend, even though I made this promise with like 5 other people, and I'm not going to let them go. Like, I'm not gonna let them do this. So I do the next one. This went on for 2.5 hours. I think my teacher was a little overwhelmed. I don't think he realized that I'd become so vulnerable that it allowed them to be a human and to fall apart and to tell their secrets, and they needed me. By the whatever person, I mean, there was a line of them, and they're all looking around the corner like, is that person done? I need you. So they just kept coming, and I'm thinking, okay, God, I said if one sparrow was falling, my life has meaning. Okay, no, a lot of sparrows were falling. I subsequently put them all on my phone. I gave each person a name of their little society, like our little patch, And when I left there, I was shaking because I didn't realize how many people were in pain, how many people were so alone, and how many people were hiding things in their soul that nobody was listening to them. And my teacher was overwhelmed because I know what he goes through. I mean, he has thousands of students, and they're all going through death and dying, and they go there because they don't have an answer. And I know that I was there for that reason, so that's what went down last night, and it was nothing short of a miracle. It was like I was at Katrina again, and I was talking everybody off the ledge. I was keeping them in the moment. I was bringing them down. I was telling them I wouldn't leave them, and I did that for 5 months, nonstop. And, the Red Cross would go by, and the light would, they're always talking on a loudspeaker, and I was like, man, we need to hug these people. Like, we need to listen to their story. So that's what I did. By the time I get to the parking lot, and I get like a 10-minute break, I realize that, okay, we're done. I beeline to my car, I get in my car, and I put my head back, and I'm like, holy crap, what just went down? Like, it wasn't just that classroom. Like, I'm realizing, like, the whole world has this tremendous secret of their personal pain, and they don't have people that listen. They don't have their needs met. It's beyond like homeless and deprived, and it was beyond that. It was just the souls of people crying and needing someone and not having a friend and flipping shit. I got home, I had a headache. I think I was dehydrated because I cried so much with them. And my throat is so, for me, whispering in their ear, like, you're not going to do anything tonight, like, you're not going to hurt yourself. And I couldn't believe how many suicidal people were in the room. I don't think anybody finished that class last night. I can't even post this on Facebook. Like, people don't get it. And so I'm giving you guys this video because first it needs to be on my YouTube, and second, I know that all of you are praying for me. And I wanted to tell you the miracle that went down last night, and the devastation, and the pain, and this voice I had to understand and know what each person was at each level. I had been through it at some point. I knew exactly what to say. And I wore that stupid tie-dye shirt. Like, what was I thinking? Like, it was so big on me. And I kept pulling up the sleeve. I was like, wait a minute. I've been on this journey, and I'm going to help every single one of them. If my phone rings, I'm going to take the phone call. And wherever they're at, I will find them. I will grab them. Bring them back to reality. And say, it's okay. I love you. Because I love those parts of me. I'm not going to tell them Jesus loves them. I'm not going to say that because this people need freedom. And I know that. So it was bigger than the speech. It was more. I think I'm in shock right now because I never thought that many people were in pain. That many people needed me in that moment, and it's tough. And people are in pain, and they need me, and it's more than one. So when he wants me to speak to his 300 class, I probably need to have somebody there with me because I think that one of me isn't enough. So yeah, God had a plan, and he knew that. And I think I've been more human than any of the speakers. I've seen them all. And it wasn't like matter of fact, professional. No. Fly by the seat of your pants and tell them what went down. I cried so much last night with every person that like my tear ducts hurt, And my heart is, I'm ready. I'm ready to help every one of them. No big deal. But when it all hit me, I couldn't believe the amount of trauma, pain, suicidal safety contracts I had made with people so they wouldn't do anything crazy, and having put me in my, I gave them my iPhone. I was like, okay, put your name in there. Okay, what are we calling our society? And they're like, The Walking Dead, phony, losing it, flipping shit. They named it everything, and I was like, we got this. So, when you realize that at that magnitude, when you are in that moment, you subsequently go to each individual and you just say, I got you. And something about those 3 words is just come off the ledge. It's like they're gonna jump off a building. And they're telling me in that moment. And I'm like, okay, hold on. You're not gonna jump. Because I'm not gonna let you. Here's the life jacket. It's called me. But in me, I know it's God. And I've been there. You just want to jump off a building. And you're like, fuck this. And that's where they all were in different stages. And I don't know what Dr. Mary was going to do. For some reason, they felt cheated by him, and I don't know why all of them felt that way. Like, he's my mentor, so they just felt cheated. And I think it's because they were in that place where they hadn't shared their secret. And when I was in that class, I was very vocal and very in the moment. So, yeah, I'm exhausted. Like, am I going to power walk today? No. I'm going to, like, do yoga, accept that I've lost a ton of weight. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's like the world is in trouble. How does God do this? I'm not a counselor. I'm not professionally trained. I'm just a girl who knows what that feels like. And so that's what down. And it had, okay, maybe it had a lot to do with the speech, but I think it had more to do with these people. And when one of them started crying, I knew right then that every single person was losing it. So I kept it together. I laid it down and I said, each and every one of you can put your number, my number in your book, and I will answer. And if I don't, you leave a voicemail. If I'm in my sweat lodge or walking or going to the store, I will call you back. Thank God I know what a safety contract is, but I did one with everyone, and that blows my mind. And God is love. And if we don't show up and do what we got to do, no matter how scared we are, then God can't show up. And it was a miracle on a very human level. Thank you for your prayers, because I sure need them. And never think that you're still fat when you know you've done the work, because then you look crazy in your clothes. So I'll post a picture of me and Dr. Mary, but everything else that went down was exactly as it was supposed to. Am I drained? Yes. Am I out of tears? Yes. Were they just for me? No. But I was able to be there in that moment, and that's the growth, and that's love. Peace. Speeches. What the hell? Pray for all those people today. I hope they call me. Crossing my fingers. So that's what went down with the speech. I'm exhausted. And I love you guys.